And swapping out for Rahi is Trat. Hello, Trat.
Yeah.
So
We're
Trat's
doing
good.
some caster swapping to get some more variety here.
Right, variety's the spice of life. And all our players are ready, so we are going to go and launch with the third game.
Yep. I really hope we get to see the inventor this time.
There was one spot where I was tempted to, would have been very tempted to put down Inventor on series the last game. But 4 slots, 8 factions, all with even probability. We might not even see them, but we do see them again.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, we're on series for the second time in a row. This is the third game in the second continuous innovation tournament. I'm Phil Authentic. Joining me this time is Trat Pingvin. We have Ian, Time Racers, Clippy, and Mighty Squirrel. Clippy and Time Racers have both been doing quite well in this tournament so far, so it'll be interesting to see who gets the upper hand in this match. We do have Scavenger, Scientist, Inventor, and Adaptive out here on the board. What do you think of this map, Trat?
There's a lot of salt, and there's even a fair amount of water on the salt. No silicon, though. I was thinking if we want to go some kind of scientist there, but maybe a food starter double. Iron looks very awkward.
Yeah.
It's mostly singles, except for the northwest, where Ian found it. That's the inventor. We got an inventor, yay!
Ian going as the inventor. We have 2 scavengers side by side with each other, and then we're waiting for Mighty Squirrel to decide what to do. In this case, a third scavenger. I might have gone scientist just for the variety's sake if I was Mighty Squirrel. Just to see if I can make that work.
Wait, how are all these people going to get aluminum?
Yeah,
So I think Ian is blocking it right now, but I guess they can claim it.
So one thing that unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out with craters here. If this crater wasn't here to the left, then I would have tried crushing way more aluminum as Ian. Since the HQ can mine it, that's one of their special abilities. Right now, Ian's getting 0.5 aluminum from these 2 trace resources under the HQ, which will help them in their upgrades. But that's what I definitely...
Maybe if we could rotate the HQ, he could have done it, but it was difficult to get more there.
Right, this crater. Otherwise, that would have been a much better found for the inventor. But 0.5 aluminum that nobody can shut off is nothing to sneeze at.
For sure.
We'll see. They are in HQ2, which is when their first retrofit slot opens. If you are unfamiliar with the mod, inventors have this retrofit button up here. And they have alternate versions of every building in the game. So on the right-hand side, usually what they do is they add 1 resource and they output more resource. So you can see, for example, farms add 0.5 carbon and they produce an extra 2.5. And then on the left, what normally happens is they reduce the normal input and add an additional input. So biotech greenhouse farms add chemicals to half the amount of water. And they're going for a steel retrofit, going for silica steel to get that production bonus on their steel mills.
One thing to note about this map is there was only 4 silicon tiles at the start, its series, and there are nukes. So we might see 4 trace silicon by the mid and late game of this.
Right. Ian doesn't have any of the silicon, but it's low right now. So for
the colony is even consuming it. I think silicon is going to be a big deal this map.
Right.
The silicon has these glass kiln modules.
Speaking of silicon, Time Racers has 1, and it's currently a high. So that'll remain a high unless there's nukes because of the scavenger's ability.
Yeah, the scavengers, that would help a lot.
It's a little bit too strong.
So power is creeping up very quickly as it usually does on series and Time Racers. Ooh, that was a very good strike.
A very good freeze, well timed by Clippy. Maybe wait until the nuclear plants are all the way constructed so they can't refund them, but power's so high they're not going to want to refund them.
Yeah.
So can't really complain there.
Timers just did an interesting play there. I think he had very valuable buildings on two different sides of his base, but no goons. I don't know if it was some kind of mind game or if he just hoped nobody would freeze him. But there's a patent lab up on the other side.
Yeah, patent lab up, not doing anything with it. No goons and a triangle of nuclear plants. Time Racer's definitely living on the edge and paying for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he can't afford to actually do anything.
Clippy on HQ, just upgraded HQ4 after Mighty Squirrel up to HQ4, proving me wrong about going into Scientist just for variety's sake. They are hanging in with everybody else.
Yeah.
And Ian is the inventor, lagging behind a little bit, which is what you would expect. They have an upgrade profile closer to a Scientist or an Expansive than these fast scavengers. Although, Ian's going to want to do something about... They do have the 2 nuclear plants up, so that's good.
Yeah.
Can't really boost them. The boost isn't very profitable, so just leaving them that one retrofit for now. Nothing else standing out as far as a retrofit, unless they were going to go into the food market. I'm going for those fertilizer greenhouse farms. Might be a pretty good idea, bumping that from 32 to 58. And
Ian has definitely suffered from this power price. He even consumes more power than a regular steel mill using this silica steel.
Right.
So he's accrued 80k of that.
The right-hand side upgrades tend to use a 0.5 more power than the normal buildings, so you do have to pay for that extra production in terms of a little bit more power.
Yeah. And 2 people are after the teleportation patent. Time Racers is looking to get it though, unless there's a black market.
HQ has been upgraded.
And Mighty Squirrel also in a patent lab, but not currently pursuing any particular patent. Oh, they just queued up teleportation, so we have 3 people wanting teleportation. Okay.
Well, Time Razor's gonna get it. There is a spy, so everybody could be, you know, looking at the other players' patent labs, but nobody using the spy. Very, very underused black market item in some games. I mean,
yeah.
If Clippy or Mighty Squirrel had a spy on Time Racer's patent lab, because it was the first one out, then they could have kept teleportation for themselves, but it goes to Time Racers.
Yeah. He's gonna be very happy with that. Time Racers also has tiles claimed on top of the salt already. You can make some very efficient farms if you want to transition those.
Liquid batteries for Mighty Squirrel, nanotech for Clippy. Time Racers not choosing a patent to go after that. Ian got up to HQ4. Still only rocking that one retrofit, going into some more iron, so maybe we're going to see... Oh no, that price doesn't make sense for that either. It'll just be going into this greenhouse farms. Oh, here comes a greenhouse farm, so maybe the retrofit will follow shortly.
So every retrofit costs 10 steel to do?
Every retrofit costs 10 steel to do.
And how much time does it take?
30 seconds.
It is recorded, yeah, okay. I see.
Yeah.
So you cannot be super responsive with it, but you can still kind of chase the market, so to speak.
Right, yeah. And using one, for example, if he retrofits out of the silica steel back into normal steel mills, this frees up a retrofit slot. You have the same number of retrofit slots as you have upgrades. So Ian as HQ4 has 3 out of the 4 total retrofit slots.
Yeah, and he seems to be doing really well here.
No, I was a bit worried about the found, given that, you know, the only mining off the 2 aluminum, but doing quite well. I'd just like to see these greenhouse farms changed over, because they could be making 81 without adjacency instead of 48. But otherwise, these scavengers keep on attacking each other and leaving Ian over there to do whatever he wants. He's recovered from his power. Has a pleasure dome out somewhere.
Yeah, he got nuked on the iron there, so we transitioned it into a pleasure dome. It's a reasonable choice.
The black market is open for business.
Somebody has a double patent lab? I'm not seeing it.
I think they think Clippy's hacker ray is a patent lab.
Ah, fair enough.
How could one refuse such a wonderful plot
Does
of
look
land?
like a hacker ray. The only thing that Ian is lagging behind, other than a bit of cash, is the patent race. They don't have any patents.
Yeah, that's true.
Iron auction all the way over here. 28k. That seems like a lot. I guess you could put a solar panel over here and just kind of leave it alone for the rest of the game.
It's an interesting choice for the Clippy. I would expect time racers to want it, and maybe might just call having liquid batteries, so their solar panels will be more efficient there. We'll see. Power is creeping up again, and well, there's a lot of places to make good money on this map right now.
Right, and then Ian, because of that power, retrofitting into the molten salt nuclear plants gives a boost to those nuclear plants at cost 0.1 glass per second.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Yeah, that is a very nice $384 per second there. I'd like to see some more optimization centers out. Right now, Clippy's the only one with the optimization center that has 3 optimizations going on. The patents are kind of all running out. We've already hit HQ5, so transparent aluminum isn't as useful as it could be. And maybe grab virtual reality. Okay, Time Racer's going for virtual reality. Then it'll be time to get rid of the patent labs, I think.
Yeah.
The black market is online.
Clippy and
Black
DDAC.
market-wise, oh yeah, there's a lot of people in that tier. And the Clippy going, wait, was it Clippy? I saw someone go for financial instruments.
Clippy
Yeah, it was
has
Clippy.
financial instruments, so protecting themselves
Yeah.
there.
In a way. But BDEP is nothing to scoff at either. He can earn a bit of that. I want to point out in the black market there's been almost no aggressive ones, but a lot of people have been buying claims.
No, claims are great on series. They're probably the best black market item
Yeah.
on series easily.
Time Racers being the one getting the most of them for free.
Optimization center is ready.
3 for Time
to
Racers.
start
That's pretty good.
improving everything.
Ian surging ahead with the money right here. They've been ignored mostly in this black market race, and they've been allowed to sit here and do whatever they want. The question is, their lack of patents, will that come and bite them in the end? Or will they be fine? And
They are currently retrofitting into the fertilizer greenhouse farms.
yes, something that we've been wanting to see a while back when they were 80.
Yeah.
But still a $20 swing there, just for some extra carbon.
Yeah.
Carbon's 48.
And
Now,
carbon
though.
should sit.
Auction for drugs? No, these are perfectly legal, high-performance.
They do have a carbon, but it's being pirated.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. I still think that it's safe to go for with free scavengers, because carbon shouldn't explode.
Right, it shouldn't. It
curious to
should be
see-
kept in check.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I'm curious about this adrenaline boost. It could be an ace in the sleeve for Clippy. I wonder what he chooses to do with it.
Right. If they had a goon squad, I would be tempted to put it on the power plants. Just to try and get myself out of C debt into a B range.
Yeah. He's actually in a ton of debt. He just cooked the books a couple of times.
Right, yeah, then I
He's
definitely
only in C.
definitely would be thinking about that if I were them.
Those filthy bandits. Optimization routines successful.
They do have plenty of cash though, so if they can get a buy somewhere, might be a mighty squirrel before their debt kills them. We'll have to see what happens there. They're still being targeted though. Our optimization center has been destroyed by time racers. Ian's dropping down into C debt. They need a few more nuclear plants. They're burning through 1.3 power per second. with all these retrofits active.
Ian is making a bit of a blunder right now. He has a water pump on ice that's been nuked into a trace, but he still has it as a pump. And also, he really needs like 2 or preferably 3 solar condensers to get the water he needs. He's on -5 water.
Very, very low on that water. They did go into the electronics consuming electrolysis reactors rather than the water, but it's still not enough.
Oh, he actually also found it on water. I think maybe he forgot about that. I sure did. He could move the steel mills into water pumps too.
Oh yeah, that's true. Those steel mills. Yeah, that would be 120 water. That would be better as a triple water here.
Clippy saw the opportunity with this water price and actually used this adrenaline boost now on the water pumps. So he's gonna make a lot of water money right now, killing the price.
Yeah, $400 per second on water. Nothing. Sneeze at. We do have our first purchases in stock. Ian going into Clippy in response to Time Racers going into Mighty Squirrel.
Yeah.
Pirates.
I like Time Racers here, I think. He's in a solid position, stock-wise and depth-wise.
Right.
Clippy's a disaster, 330k of depth.
Yeah, Ian going into Clippy is a good idea, simply because Clippy's stock price is going to fall rapidly. Another debt tick or 2, and they're going to be D+3, D+4, something like that. Although Ian's and D themselves still not paying attention to the extra power from the retrofit. They are only burning 0.45 power per second though. Okay, finally got the water pumps swapped out, but a little bit late for that. They do need to...
Timer's just taking advantage of his teleportation slant drilling now. He got 2 high silicon quarries, which is a really solid investment right here.
Yeah, silicon doing quite well at the moment. Clippy and D+2 debt. That's dropping quite rapidly, 60% of the buy, although Clippy is 60% of the buy and Ian as well.
Yeah,
One more.
Clippy has nanotechnology. I'm not sure how relevant that is.
75% of the building cost is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, he has 2 optimization centers and 1 flash dome. That's a lot of electronics money.
So close between these two.
Alright, another death tick. This is very close.
Yeah. He's gonna get that buy button soon. So hopefully they're paying attention to how much they have stockpiled. Mighty Squirrel going into an off-road market.
Oh.
$5,000 launch. In profit.
Yeah, solid food launch. I don't mind it too much, except that he's completely bought up by Time Racers already. He doesn't really have the time for it.
Well, they are.
Clippy has...
Ian has the 100. Ian gets it.
Okay.
Just before Clippy gets there. So
Clippy was on 95%, but he hadn't finished nanoteching. So I think maybe he could have done it if he nanoed this special.
Yeah, almost 500 electronics there. That might have been it. But now Ian's got to worry about their debt. D+1.
Yeah. Although his suitor has financial instrument. Does that influence his thinking at all?
Is Sub having financial instruments? Maybe?
Yeah.
If he's thinking about it, them having it?
It's a weird interaction. I guess he would want to pay it off.
Right. He's not staying ahead of the retrofit game as much as possible. They had these autonomous electrolysis reactors out for a long time when switching them to normal or advanced electrolysis would have been better. Both of those making a significant more money there. Inventor's probably the hardest faction to pick up.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I tried them and it's really hard to keep up with this.
But they're a lot of fun if you can stay on top of everything.
They are.
Oh, time
Right
racers.
now we want to be in the electronics market, looking at the board here.
Yeah, we got the subs in electronics. Time Racers is in electronics, but it's frozen. Mighty Squirrel's still shipping. They're not in electronics.
The black market is open for business.
They have a bit of silicon. This silicon for Time Racers is doing quite well. 470 from
The black market is online.
2 tiles here.
Yeah. Oh, it got nuked.
Yeah, well,
But this is optimized 2 cores. Still really good.
carbon creeping up now in price.
Yeah.
Oh, in part because Mighty Squirrel got out of carbon and they put chemical refineries on top of their carbon.
Ian has been in triple metal mines on the iron for quite a long time, and it's been auto-selling it all this time. But now we moved out of them into steel mills. This is gonna really catapult the iron price up now because it didn't keep us stockpile.
And he's still in the silica steel mills, which are the worst type of steel mill that you could be in.
Oh yeah.
Regular steel mills and the aluminum alloy are both better.
The black market is open for business.
Yeah. Look at the iron price though. Wow. It's
Yeah,
gonna consume
Optimization center.
10 iron.
Fire. What is even going on? We have 10 steel mill plants.
Yeah.
10 iron per second. This doesn't make any sense. And I don't know if he doesn't have the revenue turned on the buildings, because this is showing negative 78 right here. That should be a little warning that you shouldn't be in 10 of those.
Yeah. He does finally go back into iron. It's still not a great market though. And we had the buy. Time Racers gets us up with an offer market, which is really good.
Yeah, so I think Time Racers is now in quite good position. I mean, if I'm Ian, I need to buy into Time Racers right now.
Yeah.
So my stock can go up. Unfortunately, that
He doesn't have money.
play. Well, it's 110k. It's just all in resources.
Yeah, that's one stock. I feel like it should have a lot more considering how long I'm going about it.
That steel play ate a lot of potential money.
Yeah. It did.
So now Time Racers.
And the timing didn't quite work out either. This is his shortage, and this comes in after he already moved out of steel completely. Which is an ill-advised play.
Yeah, make sure this building price, I forget what it's called in the options, but turn that on.
The black market is online.
It can save you from doing some dumb transitions like, yeah, due to adjacency bonus, it's making me money, but it's actually a lot worse than some of the other options on the board.
He's now committing super hard into electronics, going for the perfect optimization and the shortage.
The engineers have advanced our production.
I guess you should retrofit it too? Oh, that's so hard to tell for me.
Well, he has all that iron coming in, so maybe the metallic electronics factory might work? I don't know.
Yeah, because that would make it consume less silicon, and that's really the bottleneck here. And that's what's going so well for Time Racers.
Right, the silicon tiles, the subs making 800 a second, although Ian's subs making 1,000 more a second. That's what's keeping Ian in this game right now, making almost $2,000 a second off of Clippy.
Yeah.
So we do have a close race on our hands. Both players' debt.
Our methods continue to improve.
Well, Unit C, Time Racers at B. Ian's got one more debt tick before they go into D, while Time Racers might survive another debt tick before going into C debt.
Ian dynamiting Time Racers Silicon Core. Not most efficient black market use because these construct in like only 10 seconds.
Pirates would have been better. Oh no, teleportation. So I guess that's really the only choice. But still.
I would have nuked it.
Yeah, and I guess another nuke down to Trace would have been better. It just feels bad throwing a 50k nuke on it.
It does, yeah.
But it is 770 a second each, so you gotta do that.
Well, yeah, the main thing is he really shouldn't be running these silica steel mills. He's back into them.
No.
He's doing the exact same thing he did 3 minutes ago, going out of iron into steel.
Yeah, I think he just forgot that he's been in the silica steel mills, or maybe he doesn't know that he can retrofit out of them. I mean, we do
currently retrofitting electrolysis,
which that one's good. So I'll be the first to admit this: the UE for retrofitting is not the best in the world, but the off-world UE is, for all intents and purposes, unmoddable. So this was the absolute best we could do.
I see. He retrofitted electrolysis reactors, but it doesn't actually own any. And timers is creeping up in the buy here, 94%.
Right.
Yeah, I think a really solid showing from Time Racers this game.
Yeah, Time Racers did pretty well. Ian was doing quite well until they unfortunately snatched defeat from a potential jaws of victory.
Yeah.
It wasn't a guaranteed victory, but it was close to a 50-50, and they just said, I want to grab that defeat there. But
yeah. To be fair, it's a very tricky faction to play.
It's a very tricky faction, but they showed that they can make it work on series for the first half of the game. It's just the second half, all the choices perhaps got a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, well done.
Well, look at the on-world market. This is the kind of serious game I want to play. I really like looking at this. So much money to be made. Right.
We still ended up making $687,000 in electronics with that crazy optimization play. But if you can get $576,000 off of 2 tiles on series.
Oh yeah.
As Time Racers did with silicon. That right there is probably the victory for Time Racers.
Yeah.
Time Racers is quite improved from the last tournament that he's played in.
Oh, for sure. I'm very impressed. This is what you get though when you attend the Asteroid Alpaca School of World. No, I'm really impressed. Yeah, he's playing well. Sure.
Yeah, he also gave us a big hand by finding some bugs in the mod that we killed over the past 2 weeks since announcing the tournament. So thank you to Time Racers for that too.
I mean, to be fair, he has been practicing using the mod, so he knows what he's doing. I would have added that the only person who was active on this nuking business was Magic Squirrel and Time Racers, so Clip and Ian never really saw the nuke potential here, I think.
No, I mean, so if you're Ian and other people are nuking... Okay, I take that back. Time Racers is throwing out all the nukes. And...
yeah, it makes sense for him to do it, having plans for me.
Yeah, a couple more nukes back in Time Racers, especially on that silicon, like you mentioned at the end, might have swung the game in either direction. But I can understand Ian not throwing a nuke since he only got one in his direction, so if he doesn't toss one around, then maybe nobody tosses them back at him.
Well, I kind of think it gets inexcusable. Just looking at this screen, 576k in silicon. You could basically delete that to 0.
Well, or at least maybe down to 270 or something.
Well, reasonably... he probably isn't in silicon if it's race, but yeah, 1/4 of it. Fair enough. This game could have turned out very differently if different choices were made.
That's off-world. It's a very dynamic game in that regard.
Sure is.